Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Centre. This is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is Sparta!
All your bases are belong to us.
It's a trap 9000!
Stop corrupting all of us.
Leave Benny alone!
Leroy Jenkins!
Objection! The balls are inert.
Time to
Limousine sedan.
And now it begins.
Okay, everybody, welcome to Nerd to Know Basis, Nerd to Know Media here on Phoenix at 2.5 FM, our first show post JCon. My name is Darragh O'Connor, and I'm joined on the line by
Cian Calcon, thrilled to be here as always.
And it's Bryn.
Hey, Bryn, welcome back to the show, man.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
You were missed on the panel. Cian and myself had a great time.
Yeah, unfortunately, family duties called, so wasn't really.
They should have known better. How dare they?
How dare they? Making me go and see them.
How dare they? Yeah, but
family duties call. I love that. Sounds so mysterious and yet Superman-y.
Yeah, it's really more. What's the word I'm looking for? Sad.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at your sadness.
No, it's fine. I laugh at my own pain too.
But one thing that wasn't painful was JCon. So we all had a good time, except for afterwards where I got violently ill. So yeah.
How was it?
Not because of the con. We should
no. The con was fantastic. It was whatever happened between the con ending and Sunday. I don't know what it was. But I ended up picking up a stomach bug, and it was the worst thing ever. So, yeah,
I will close the dips there.
Yeah, usually I get con sick as it is, as you guys know. But this was a whole new level. So, yeah. But JCon was great. We had a great time. I was only able to be there for 2 hours, maybe, because I was literally writing the panel half an hour before we did it.
Oh, that's a nice.
Yeah, I think you're actually underselling it, Darragh. You finished writing the panel at about 3:20.
Yes,
for the panel to be on at 4.
And then I got a taxi in those 10 minutes. People seem to really enjoy it, but yeah, I'm never going to leave it that close to the wire again, because I kept thinking it was more far away than it actually was, and then it was the day.
Well, before we get into it, can I just say, let's give a shout out to the crowd that was there, because compared to the wrestling panel, which was also fun, that was kind of a lot of newcomers, that kind of stuff. This one, they were horror experts. They knew their stuff. We were wondering if people had questions. They had suggestions throughout the whole thing. I was very impressed with them.
And it wasn't even that. It was a full crowd as well. We were in panel room 2, which is 50 people, and there were about 60. So standing room only, which was really cool.
That's nuts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, trust me, Bryn. No one was more shocked than we were when we walk in. We're like, oh wow, okay. There's way more people here than we thought there was going to be. But
it was more surreal than that, because there was a full panel for the event that was on before us, and I kind of in my head I was like, oh yeah, sure, half of these will thin out, and then we'll do our thing. No, they all stayed. In fact, I was shouting, it took you a while to set up, I was shouting horror into the corridor, and a few came in. There was a good vibe that day.
And then there was people who were like, I've waited all day for this, and I'm like, oh God, no pressure. But yeah, no, I'm glad that I'm sad that I sacrificed actually going to the con, because there was lots of things I actually wanted to see. But I'm glad that I was like, right now I'll put a fair amount of effort here and make sure this is good, because people seem to really enjoy it. And yeah, it's up online now for people who want to check it out. So just go over to our Spotify feed or iTunes feed, and it's on YouTube as well with the slides. So Nerd to Know Media is where you can do that. Yeah, but if anyone's listening and they want to have us on panels in the future, and we are going to try to do as many panels as we can So yeah, just let us know, and we'd love to do it.
Yeah, can I actually, just because I've literally just confirmed this on Facebook Messenger while we were talking, could I possibly give a shout out to our guest for next week?
Oh, yes.
So the panel that was on after us was a Pokemon horror-themed panel, which went very hand in hand with ours, and it was very, very well presented. So that was hosted by Venus DeVilo, who runs the group Straight Outta Kanto online. And it's looking like she will be our special guest on next week's episode. So we're very, very excited to have her. She ran a fantastic panel, and I'm too scared to go back to Pokemon, but I'm sure everyone else will be thrilled to have her on the show. I'm very excited about that.
That's going to be fun. I really enjoyed her panel. I did manage to run out and get a little Gundam before her panel, which I was thrilled by. But then I ran back straight away, and I really enjoyed it. So that's going to be fun. I look forward to her take on it. For anyone who hasn't seen her panel, do. Because the way she does it's great. So yeah, Brent, I think you're going to be thoroughly entertained when she's on the show next week.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, that'll be a baptism by fire for you, Bryn.
I hope she has her topics. We need to find a way to randomize her topics, because that's fun.
Yeah, totally. Well, there's a new Pokemon game coming out, I believe, so maybe she'll have some thoughts on that.
I hear it's terrible.
Yeah.
Wow. How come?
Yeah. It's just the word around the campfire is it's Nick Sergut. It's pretty bad. So yeah, I'm not gonna pick it up because I don't have a Switch, and I'm still trying to play Sun and Moon on the 3DS. So I'm working my way through that generation of Pokemon games at the moment. So eventually,
not to get too kind of into this, but have you ever been brave enough to do a Nuzlocke?
I don't know what that is.
A Nuzlocke is I won't dwell on this too long. It's basically a challenging mode for Pokemon players where you're allowed to catch the first Pokemon you meet in every town, and if it faints in a battle, it's dead forever. You have to release it.
Oh yes, I have. I haven't done this, but I have actually done something similar to it. Actually, funny story, true story. While I was messing around with my original carts, trying to do a similar kind of speed run, and then also putting them onto Pokemon Stadium, I ended up wiping my original save of Blue and Red. Yeah, so that kind of yeah, that was sad. Yellow survived, which is all right, but yeah, so it's been ever since then. It's been kind of tough for me to get back to Pokemon. So.
Yeah, just create that, go on that journey again.
However, when they were out on the phones, you remember when the first time you could play like Pokemon Red and Blue on your phone? I did actually manage to complete it on the phone because obviously you can speed it up and stuff, and it's fine. But the more kind of hardcore sitting there with a console is something I haven't done in a while. I'm trying to do it with Pokemon Red and with Pokemon Blue and Sun. No, sorry, Pokemon Moon and Sun. But they're weird games, so.
To be honest, this is going to sound terribly simplistic of me, but like, I was playing Pokemon Go earlier, and they've added extra rockets and rocket bosses and all that kind of stuff. I have an emulator with Red on it, and it's not giving me anything that Pokemon Go doesn't give me for free, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I never actually played Pokemon Go because my phone at the time was too bad to play it. So I just kind of got over it, and I was like, well, I guess I'm never going to play it. I was like, well, that's the end of that chapter, you know?
To be honest, you've got more life, you get more time. It's like all those kind of free to play games. It eats into your life if you let it. And I enjoy it, so I don't mind that. But like myself and Stevie, we go on our Pokemon hunts to Prim and our pet dog's disgust. But this is the life we've led, so
Fair. I'm not gonna comment. Well, what about you, Bryn? What's your experience with the Pocket Monsters?
I kind of fell off after Gold and Silver. With them.
Good man, I did as well.
Gold and Silver, Rad.
I mean, it's just like around that time I lost interest in the show. I lost interest in just about everything. I have always had like copies of the games flying around where like getting like an emulator app for my phones and using my my ROM copies and just putting them in and stuff into that has always been like my way of using it. But I mean, I kind of just like, oh well, these are the Pokemon I know, and that's enough for me. And
Bryn the boomer.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, when it comes to Pokemon, I absolutely will say like it's that like once they exceeded like whatever like 200 Pokemon or whatever.
I mean, you just imagine Bryn in a couple of years. In my house, there's only 200 Pokemon. None of this plant. Rapidash.
You've got Cyndaquil. You've gone too far.
Anything beyond a Celebi and it's not real to me.
Oh my god! You know what? That's a sitcom right there. That's fun. That should be like a web show.
Get out of here!
Oh, I will say that's the only thing I'll say about Venus's panel. They were all shouting out these numbers 701 and 552.
Yeah,
and I just felt so old.
Yeah, man. Some people were there and he had like an encyclopedic knowledge of it, and you're just like, wow, man, I don't even know what you're talking about, but okay.
I got so excited when finally said drowsy. Because I was just like, suddenly just tuned back in. It's like, I know this.
It's like, I understood that reference, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, you know, to be fair though, it is that kind of point in time when you encounter hardcore fans. It's like the first time when my friend Carrie, shout out to Carrie, she was like, oh, hey, we go to some anime cons. I'm like, right on. And she's like, okay, well, watch these anime shows. And, you know, I always thought I knew a lot of anime. And then you meet someone like that who just knows all the anime. And you're like, oh, my God, I don't know half of what I'm talking about here. You know, and it's just so much of it. And that's kind of the experience I had in that panel. I was just like, yeah, okay.
Oh, I like anime. I'm so like I try to watch a new series of anime like all the time of something on the go, something on Netflix, something here, something there. And there's an entire, it's like your wrestling thing. It's like there's an entire terminology I don't understand, like best girl and waifu and this and all that kind of stuff for different subgenres of subgenres, like, you know. Like,
oh yeah.
It's amazing. I think it's fantastic, but I can't keep up with it, and I don't pretend to. Oh, can I actually, speaking of that now, could I give a shout out to all the wonderful people at, not just at our panel, but myself and Stevie, we were out round one, and we had loads of people getting excited about Primrose's costume. She was dressed up as Deku from My Hero Academia. It's been actually getting a lot of traffic online, the odd photo here and there on Instagram. So if any of them are listening, I just wanted to say thank you, because Prim had a fantastic time, and it was great meeting all the people, the cosplayers and all that kind of stuff. I've written a piece about it on Geek Ireland this week, which will be coming out. But yeah, I'd recommend to anyone. JCon was a blast. It was fantastic.
Yeah, no, I will echo that. Like, even though I wasn't there for a lot of it, when I was there, the atmosphere is great. And from being there last year, JCon is like my favorite panel. So my favorite con to go to in Dublin, for that kind of experience. Like, obviously, Dublin City Comic Con is great, or DC is great, but when it comes to actually just the atmosphere and experience, you really won't get anything like JCon. You know, it's nice and intimate, and yeah, it's great. It's super fun. So
to see that in like a city con in Dublin, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, JCon feels like it's not in Dublin.
Yeah,
it feels like it's like something you'd go to, like Kazuki Con or Surcon out in Waterford. Like, it's really hard to sum that up. But you hit the nail on the head, Bryn. Yeah, it's like you're not in a Dublin con.
Yeah, I checked the max capacity after the fact, and it was about, they sold out tickets, and it was about 1,800 overall.
Wow.
Like, that sounds like a lot, but when you consider that, like, what was the eventual traffic of Dublin Comic Con last August?
Oh man, like 1,800?
1,800.
Sorry, 18,000.
18,000.
Yeah,
like, you know, something. So that's the kind of...
And but guys, I'm not making that up. I was told that's what it was by the person who's running 18,000 people.
And I don't blame them at all, because the staff like thought that they would get those numbers gradually over the course of 48 hours, and instead they all stormed at the same time on Saturday morning. You know, no one could be prepared for that.
No, and I was there. We were there. We experienced it, and it was just like, oh wow, man. But like even the fact that there were like 1,800 people or whatever for JCon, like it never felt like you were crushed or smashed, or that you never like you ran into the same people and you'd see them throughout the course of the event. But it was all really nice. It was laid out well. The trade hall was in a different place than it normally is. But yeah, look, I would say if anyone. Like, yeah, okay, it's not as big as what you get at Dublin Comic Con, right? And it doesn't have as many things that you'd normally have at Dublin Comic Con, right? But specifically, if you're an anime fan or if you're into something, just kind of experience what it's like. It's a very nice way to do it.
And yeah, and there wasn't that sort of. This is going to sound strange, but I got chatting to Carmelo Cosplay, who was like one of the special guests, just outside our hall for a few minutes.
True, and you didn't know it was her.
Exactly, yeah. There isn't that sort of slight elitist type thing where like all the guests, the top guests, will be sealed off, like in Comic-Con and in their guest rooms and all that kind of stuff, and you have to queue up for hours and hours. There was this nice kind of free-flowing type thing where everyone just got to talk to everyone. It felt more like I know it's going to sound bad, it felt more like a conference than like an elitist, you pay to meet this person type thing. The only rush was when the anime man was doing a thing and the main room overflowed. But even then, they caught it pretty quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, but that's what Bryn was talking about. That's what like a lot of the cons down in the country are like. Where you can just walk in to meet someone. Or you're just going to hang out like.
And people are just unnecessarily friendly and more approachable.
Yeah. It's just, and it there's nothing that can be really done to remedy that in something like DCC because it's so big. It's just kind of the way that it is. And look, it's not a bad thing. It's just a different vibe. Like it's
the difference between like going to the
WWE
to watch any musician or any act play there and going to like a local bar and watching a band play. It's
correct. Yeah, it's different. Actually, Bryn, that's right. Yeah, you go see Metallica play in Slane. There's no way you're going to meet Metallica just around. However, you go see Fozzy, who are Chris Jericho's band, playing Fibbers, and he's at the bar or he's in the Jacks.
Yeah. It's like
it's the way
like Machine Head played the Olympia Theater this week, and then they also like didn't leave Fibbers until 7 a.m. This is the way it is though, and it's the same thing. Like it's the more cons there are, the better, because they come in all shapes and all sizes.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I like and appreciate for this show is that people want us at cons and to come to our panels, but it also gives us the chance to kind of experience these and report back to you guys. So, the more cons, the better. You're right, Bryn. And again, if anyone is running one or is doing it, like we're actively applying, we're working on a bunch of different panel ideas to do them. And if people are listening and going, hey, look, there's this, are you aware of this one? Let us know. We'll apply and we'll go and do it because it's fun.
Because like Dara, it should be, I know you put in more work that you're taking credit for, but it should be pointed out that you crafted this Japanese horror game thing for the con.
Yes.
Like I know you're enthusiastic about it anyway, but you did that specifically for JCon, didn't you?
Yeah.
It wasn't something we had ready made.
No. It was specifically for JCon, and like if it depending on what the cons are, we'd kind of be tailoring that for it. And there's some things that we do want to do.
Yeah, they can happen anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they could just. Yeah. Sorry, Ben. Go on.
Like when it comes, I know that like our general attitude as well when it comes to the idea of going, oh, great to do panels. It's like, I think we're all in agreement that like we'd rather do a room that's like has a capacity of 25 people and have 25 people there than do a room that has a capacity of 200 people and have 25 people there.
Exactly. And look, and here's the thing, JCon was a perfect example of that, where it was a smaller room than what we got in Dublin Comic Con, but it was over capacity and everybody there was super into it, and it was a truly a special moment to have, and I'm glad we got it recorded. But like that's kind of what we want to do, and that's one of our mission statements. Obviously cover it, but to be able to give back is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, totally.
So we're gonna keep doing them, and we are working on ideas. So if you have anything that you want us to talk about, either on the show or panels, nerdtoknowmedia@gmail.com is the way to contact us, because we got some cool feedback on the video, which was nice. Keen.
Yeah, I saw that. That was fantastic.
So yeah, thanks so much. It's the best way. We do appreciate it. Right, switching gears into serious business. I pre-ordered a game for the first time in like 10 years today.
Whoa.
I not only pre-ordered, I actually bought it. I am holding a receipt that cost me €80, right?
Just the receipt?
Just the receipt, a really expensive receipt. And it's for, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, I've seen the trailers for this.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you get it.
Of course I get it, it's me. But
I know, but you're one of those Star Wars fans who loves and hates Star Wars fans at the same time. I can never quite pin which way you're going to go.
I don't hate Star Wars fans. I don't hate Star Wars. I just hate what Disney has done to Star Wars, and many other things about Star Wars. But the thing about it is, it's just like this looks like something that Disney had no involvement with and just kind of happened to spite itself. And it seems like that's what happened. The game was in production before Disney bought them, before EA took over, and they're just like, we better get this out now real quickly. So it's looking to be a triumph of a game. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. And if it's not, we're going to do a 4-hour show about why it's bad. Or I'm going to
whether we plan to or not.
Whether we plan to or not, exactly. But yeah.
Well, tell you what then. I've seen the trailer for this, but it was months ago. Why don't you give us a rough pitch of the plot then, from what you know? Because I know you've got many things.
I don't know. They didn't tell us anything. That's what I mean. EA have been very, very close to the chest.
Well, I mean, I know as much that it's set in between Episode 3 and A New Hope, and it's got those Inquisitors from Rebels in it, right?
Yeah. So basically, from what I can gather, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. And Bryn, I think you're the same as well, right? Yeah, you don't know much about it, right?
No. I've seen gameplay footage.
Yeah. So it looks to be like, you were an apprentice in the Jedi Temple, the purge happened, and you're on the run. That's basically it. But the reason why I got it is because apparently the lightsaber combat and stuff like that is the best since Jedi Knight. So if that's true, and that's a big claim. If that's true, then it's worth it alone because it's great. The only about it is the guy that's playing the main character looks like a douchebag. So I really hope there's a mask I can put on him because I don't want to see his face for 8 hours. Like already, I'm like, I really just want to hit him.
Couldn't you just die a lot? I mean, like your face will get punched then.
Yeah, but I want to punch him because he just has like the biggest d-bag face in the world. Like,
well, maybe if they develop a multiplayer, you can punch loads of them.
And he has stupid hair too. And I'm like, I hate you so much, and I don't even know you.
Stupid hair in Star Wars.
I've heard of worse reasons to become a Sith Lord.
But yeah, I know, Bryn, stupid hair in Star Wars. But like, you look at him and you're like, I'm like, look at the state. You're like, I'm just gonna put a picture of him. Star Wars.
Can we just admire the fact that Dara, for the benefit of radio, is
oh my god! Look at the state.
This guy.
Look at this guy. He's such a d-bag.
This guy's face is so bad it's audible.
Look at him there. Oh my god.
Like, I mean, we're literally in the same position that our listeners are in, where you go, look at him. What?
I'm sorry. I don't even know. I'm just going to look up the actor, main actor.
Like,
these are more visual aids than we had in the panel.
Okay, what's his name? Cameron.
Ben, you're experiencing this too, right?
Yeah. Experience. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, your man is named Cameron Monaghan.
Oh, I hate his name.
Yeah, he played the Joker. Yeah, that's why I hate him. He plays the Joker in Gotham. He looks like a sap.
Oh, but I like that actor though.
I don't know, man. He has a really punchable face.
Having said that, he wore makeup in Gotham, obviously.
Yeah, but look at him there.
Having said that, isn't it a traditional video game thing for your protagonist to have a giant chinned punchable face?
No, but there's a picture of him there, and no, I need to stop this. Right.
Look what you're saying. Look at him. Like, smells bad. It just smells.
I like to think that someone's driving home and they're getting very confused.
Okay, well, for that whole segment, I would hope that people had pulled up a picture of fucking D-bag
If
there.
you're in traffic, we don't endorse getting your phone out, but if you happen to not be moving,
Yes.
what is it, Cameron
D-bag. I know, Cameron Monaghan.
Try Cameron Star Wars.
Yeah, and it'll pop up. Anyway, I don't know. Who knows? I might end up to grow to not hate him after the next 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. We'll find out.
I was going to say, you're probably going to put like Kanye West sunglasses on him, or like a hood, or like a Pikachu head, or whatever DLC concept there will be.
Well, see, here's the thing. There is no, there's DLC content, actually. That's why I got the deluxe edition. Yeah. But what they should do is, I was playing Soul Calibur 6 the other day, and you can actually, you'll appreciate this, Brendan. The character customization, and the same with Tekken, the character customization is so deep that you can actually put Bullet Club shirts on people in Tekken, which is amazing. So
I saw that.
Yeah, it's super fun. So hopefully they allow. I just the minute I get to put robes on your man and cover his head, we'll be fine then.
Well, he is supposed to be on the run, in fairness.
Yeah, true.
The guy incognito.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So
Cameron, who is Cameron?
Cameron, guy incognito. But yeah, no, it's the first game since Watch Dogs that I've actually been excited about, and that didn't go well the first time.
So, well, can I ask them, what's got you, apart from a lightsaber combat, what's got you so excited?
I like single-player Star Wars games,
which there aren't enough of.
Which there's today none of, because since EA bought over, there were supposed to be two. There was supposed to be the Boba Fett one, which is now what the Mandalorian is based on. And another one, Ragtag, which was supposed to be, a similar kind of thing.
There was the role-playing game as well, wasn't there? It's like 1313 or something.
Yeah, that's the Boba Fett one. Yeah. So yeah, it's just they were both in the works, and there was also a Darth Maul one as well, apparently in the works. Yeah. But they were all scrapped, so that's why I'm picking it up. If it's terrible, well, then it's terrible. I'll only play it.
To complain about.
We'll
get 6 episodes worth of content if you don't like it.
You think too small. It's going to be more like 12.
Just
after editing.
Well, just wait until the Star Wars movie comes out. That's when the magic's going to happen.
Oh yeah. So actually, just for clarifying, for anyone who may be interested in this game, despite your feelings on the protagonist, when does this game drop?
3 hours.
Oh really? That soon?
Yeah. So that's why I went in and pre-ordered it today, because I wanted to get the DLC. So
veil behind the curtain. By the time this show goes out, it probably will be available, right?
Yeah. So it comes out on Friday the 15th of November.
In the past.
Yeah, in the past. So it should be out now for everyone listening in future Radio Land. So yeah, we'll see. I probably keep an eye on my Twitter at DarWV, where I'll be probably.
You will instantly get feedback on the game. I guarantee you that much.
That's true.
Stand by for one of the most angry Twitch streams of all time.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I will actually Twitch stream it.
Yeah. If you're listening to this show, just stick your head out the window. You might hear Dara's angry cries, because he'll probably finish the game by about Saturday afternoon.
I'll definitely finish it by Saturday afternoon, yeah. because this weekend I'm doing a gig, and after the gig we're finished early. I'm gonna go play it all night. Probably, do the might do something on Saturday, come back, finish it, and then I'm recording an album on Sunday. So I need to get it finished in that time period.
Well,
so I
might just your gig, man.
Nah. Next week there's a better one. Go to the one next week.
I'm really glad the people going to that first gig won't hear this till Saturday.
That's fair. The one next Saturday in February, go to that, the 23rd. All right. So before we move on, guys, right? Has there ever been a game or anything that you were looking forward to that turned you off the whole process of pre-ordering or buzz? Go with you, Kane, first.
Oh, well, I'm not the pre-ordering type, I suppose. But I suppose To be honest, no. I even liked Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm a complete, like, I mean, I suppose. No, I've been pretty happy in my gaming experiences. I feel like you've got one you really want to talk about, though.
No, I don't. I've already Watch Dogs was it for me, but what about you? What about you, Ben?
I have a good one. Granted, this game came out way before pre-orders were even a thing, but yeah, it really just. But again, it was just one of the first like examples I ever in my life of going. Yeah, you really need to like not get hyped for things. Like in my mid-teens, I was I was a massive fan of Spawn in the comic books.
Oh,
series. And then I heard that Namco, because of the popularity of Soul Calibur 2, were making a game. So I was like, oh my god.
Oh no!
Waiting for ages.
I feel so sorry for you already.
And then the game came out, and they had Keith David doing the voice, and I'm like, oh my god.
And Marilyn Manson soundtrack. I have this game.
Yeah, and the opening cinematic hits, and I'm still like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then I start playing the game, and it took me about, I want to say, an hour before I went, this is one of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh wait, I do have. Finish your story first, but I want to hear more about the Spawn game. But then I do have one that's quite similar.
I mean, it's just so dull. Like, I mean, it basically, like, it has a lot of features that it took from the PS1 Spider-Man games, which is like not a bad idea in terms of like little collectible hunting stuff. It's not a bad idea, and it worked as like a mechanic and stuff like that. But I mean, it has a lock-on camera that doesn't lock on. it has platforming where it like, I mean,
doesn't he just attack by throwing chains around? Wasn't that his thing?
Yeah, you could do that. You had an axe, and you had like other weapons, and it just, I mean, it just wasn't great. And almost everything mechanically with it was a bit broken. And I mean, and then like as the game goes on, it just like got more and more of a chore. Like, just such a miserable experience. And
Play your game where everything is broke.
I mean, like I remember seeing like there was a magazine I used to read, Games Master, mainly because it got cheat books with it.
Fair.
And I remember seeing it, and they actually gave it the title of the worst game of the year.
Whoa!
It's a score. They did a percentage score. Their score. Now, bear in mind, for them, like, bad games would get, like between 40 and 50% would be usually like pretty scathing, pretty negative review. Spawn got 13%.
Oh my god!
Like,
wow!
Oh man!
Yikes!
Isn't that heartbreaking? Because like Keith David's a good pick for Spawn. Like,
Keith David did the animated series, which is brilliant, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even know it was an animated series.
Yeah,
the comics.
Yeah, the animated series. It came out like, I mean, 90, like in around the same time as the Michael J. White film came out. I think it was like late 96, early 97, and the film came out like mid 97. And the animated series is like seriously good. Like, it was done by HBO, and it's every bit as good as that game was bad. Is how I would describe it. I mean, within a year of getting that game, I stopped reading Spawn comics. I'm not saying but like,
wow, it did so much damage. It just killed your love of the fandom totally.
Basically, yeah. I mean, now granted, Todd McFarlane has a lot to do with that too, because
Todd McFarlane.
I hope they do a movie about Image Comics. There is a brilliant comedy movie just in the behind the scenes shenanigans that him and Rob Liefeld got up to over the years. I finished a series on the history of comics recently by SF Debris, and some of the stuff they got up to is mental.
Yep. Are you both desperately trying to draw feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also,
There has to be a sequence where that's the thing that's happening.
there's a great comedy in it, and there's also like a really bleak 6-part documentary series in it.
Why not both? You could just make it fiction and then have like the best comedy ever, but then also like bitingly hard satire.
Yeah, like
drama.
kind of in the vein of like Ed Wood, or there's like a Dolomite film that came out this year, something that only slightly exaggerates what happened and makes it like
or even
kind of one of those type stories.
Something like Silicon Valley, but like satirical and angry.
That's an audience.
Silicon Valley's a good show.
It is, but you know what I mean, though.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Like Silicon Valley could do a lot more with social commentary, and it just kind of doesn't.
Yeah, it just kind of exists there. It gives you like paltry bits here and there, but just,
like, oh, isn't this quaint? And you're like, yeah, but you could be doing more.
Try harder.
Yeah.
Ooh, Boba Fett action figure.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, this is this is one of those shows that's like. I mean, it's just one of those games where like it just kind of, it just kind of broke me quite a bit. But again, it's just like, I mean, between that, it was a rough year because it was that there was X-Men: The Last Stand.
Oh no!
Yeah, and oh man, I mean, in around the same time as well, there was like there was Terminator 3, and
didn't hate Terminator 3.
Didn't hate Terminator 3, but
I'll go to the bat for Terminator 3. I think if they'd given it enough time, like it would have been accepted as kind of Return of the Jedi type level. Where
what I'll say,
quite there, but it does round it out well.
What I'll say is, I enjoy Terminator 3 more than I enjoy Terminator Dark Fate. Didn't hate Terminator Dark Fate, just Terminator 3 is a better movie.
I saw Terminator Genesis for the first time this week. It wasn't as bad as I'd heard.
I like
pretty miserable.
I like Terminator Genesis.
The first act of Terminator Genesis is like a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
No, I
know the second and third acts.
Now, hold on. What I like about it is the fact that it stops becoming a Terminator movie and just becomes a schlocky sci-fi mess.
Yeah.
And it's marvelous. It's marvelous. It's not even a Terminator movie. It stops being a Terminator movie halfway through it. Yeah. It just becomes glorious mess.
Yeah, like I mean, but that's I don't like Terminator 3 all that much because it's I don't like it all that much in the comparing it to the first two films.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those.
But to be fair, most films suffer compared to the first two Terminator films.
Yeah, but it's kind of like that thing of like the way you kind of judge works based off what their peers are rather than like in the spectrum of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as that, like Terminator 3 also left one of the best scenes in the entire film on the cutting room floor.
Which one's that?
So like there's this scene where you have a bunch of executives from Skynet or I can't remember the name of the company that's doing Cyberdyne. They're a bunch of executives are all sitting in this room and they're watching like a promotional material thing, and next thing comes up this character called Sergeant Candy, going through the array of stuff that's there, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger with a Southern States accent. He's going through the whole thing, and it is amazing. And then, like at one point, like near the end of the bit, one of the guys in the room is like, I'm just not sure about his voice. And there's this scrawny executive guy with Arnie's voice going, we could change it.
Oh, who dubs it over? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
it's super good. Yeah, that should have been in the movie.
Yeah, it's best scene in the entire film, and it's not. It's not in it. It's so good. But yeah, like, Terminator 3. Like,
yeah, but say what you will about Terminator 3, it does carry on the thematic story of John Connor and the Terminator, and it does wrap up and bring us back to the start of Terminator 1. Yeah, like you can watch those three films, ignore the rest, and it does kind of form a loop, and you can't take that away.
It does also like kind of destroy the thematic ending to Terminator 2.
Yeah, but you put that at the feet of every single.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say. Every movie that's made after Terminator 2 destroys the thematic ending of Terminator 3. Because then it means no matter what they do, it's always just going to happen. So,
except for the Sarah Connor Chronicles. That manages to continue it on and actually add some substantial stuff. Like my favorite, did you ever see that TV show?
I've seen a bit of it, but I want to watch it more because I don't think I gave it too much credence when it was on.
You should though. It's really, really good now. It's one of my. It does some kind of like the way Star Wars Rebels fleshes out bits of its minutia. One of my favorite bits is the Terminator follows them through time, and because he's followed them through time, he's lost his skin and gotten wounded. So he finds a scientist to kind of develop this new flesh, and you see the skeleton hop into like a normal bathtub, and he has to like put new skin on, and it becomes a new actor. And they like explore modern technology and video gaming.
So hold on, Kane. Do you like this because it's very Doctor Who-ish?
Well, to be honest, I think if Terminator dips too far into the time travel, it becomes nonsense.
Fair.
But if there must be more Terminator, I would like to know what the practical aspects are of more of it, instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger again. I like new.
Yeah,
new and making sense is good. Yeah. But yes, I suppose there would be a bit of Doctor Who love. I realise I'm wearing TARDIS socks as we speak.
The one thing with Terminator I always wrestle with is that my favorite film in the series has the biggest like in-universe lore break of any of them, where Terminator, because the T-1000 makes no sense in lore.
Hold on. It does when you think about it this way, right? And I know where you're getting at, kind of. So just before you jump in, right? They say he's a prototype, so they have one. The fact that they use it more than once, it breaks lore. Sorry, continue.
No, what I was going to say is the reason why it doesn't make sense is because like it has to be like T-1000 is a liquid metal robot.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, except that you need to be covered in flesh to travel back in time. There's no flesh in the thing, so it can't do that.
Ooh, that's a good point.
That's true, but he can also shapeshift. And that means he can change.
Yeah, but that shapeshifting is not the same thing as like changing the properties of changing the properties of water. Like liquid metal change the state of it does not mean it's going to change the actual the form that isn't going to change the actual composition of what it is.
Oh, okay, yeah,
like,
that's fair.
Liquid metal can't become carbon. You know, like
well, they do specify that he can't become he can't turn into a gun or something with moving parts. Like, and then they undo that by having T-1000 Terminator 3 that can make guns.
Yes.
I think personally with the Terminator series, I think they got it's a great idea that went way too far.
Yeah.
I think they should have just been like, you know what, guys, we had 2 really good movies. We all had a lot of fun. Let's just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Instead, they just kind of went full bore, and everyone's like, "What is this? Absolute garbage."
Well, I mean, I'll put this to you, Dara. Does it make you look more kindly on Star Wars? Because
no,
we now have. Well, hear me out. We now have a trilogy of Terminator movies that were supposed to be the first in a trilogy.
Yes.
So, like, at least Star Wars has someone who's guiding it and shaping it and sending it in a certain direction, even if you don't like the direction it is.
I would argue, Alan Keane,
the wall and hope something sticks.
Well, I would argue that's what's happening with Star Wars right now,
really?
except for the Mandalorian, and we'll transition into that.
Okay, I was wondering if there was time for that. Yeah.
If Dave Filoni was given the book, to use a wrestling term, from the start, it would be fine because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
The 2 Star Wars movies in the new canon, it is just them throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks.
And then they didn't like what stuck and reshooting half of it.
Yeah, and they're reshooting half of it. So it's like, what I think will happen is Dave Filoni will eventually get the book and just be allowed to do it. Because The Mandalorian, lads, I don't want to talk about it too much because, I will. So I'm going to let you. Can you
to be honest, I admire your restraint for taking this long to get to it, Dara.
Yeah.
I cannot take that away from you.
Fair. Both you guys have seen it, right?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
Kane, have you seen it?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen Rick and Morty? Yeah. Bryn.
The newest season? No, not yet.
Okay.
No.
New Rick and Morty's pretty good. But yeah, we'll get into that eventually. But Mandalorian, it's everything that you could want and everything that was missing. Let's put it this way. Bryn, to put it into perspective, in 7 minutes, it was more Star Wars than the past 5 movies. Four or 5 movies. I don't know how many it's been.
That's not hard.
Exactly. It's not hard.
Well, I won't talk about plot stuff, but
no, because we're only like one episode in.
A lot of good little details of the working universe. Would you agree with that, Dara?
Oh yeah, like there's so much world building, and the way they're doing a scattered schedule, so it's like the next episode will be out by the time this comes out. We'll be on chapter 2. There's only 8 episodes, but it feels like a real place where you can actually go to and live in compared to just nothing. You know, and some people said, "Oh, it's a bit too graphic." Whatever. It's bounty hunting, and it's like
it's basically a western, isn't it? A friend of mine on Facebook described it as a fistful of dollars in Star Wars.
Yeah, and it even starts off kind of similar to it in a bar, like so.
Yeah. Well, even the music's incredibly western. They got the guy who did the Black Panther score to do the music, and it's a great job.
It's one of those it's one of those TV shows where you're like, it's frustrating at the same time because you're like, Disney, you could do this all along.
Yeah.
You just didn't.
But see, that's why I kind of, to link back into Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles is great because it's got enough time to set things up and let things breathe and all that kind of stuff. You never get that time in the films where they're just panicking and trying everything and hoping something.
I'd have a lot more sympathy, Cian, for the people who created the last 2 episodes of Star Wars, except that like Lucas was able to do world building in the time in the 90 minutes allotted to him for episodes.
That's very true.
So like it's not, I don't think that like there isn't enough time to do that in a film.
No, I'm not saying that there isn't enough time. I'm saying they feel like there isn't enough time.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing about it is like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau understand what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, Ryan Johnson, and J.J. Abrams don't understand what Star Wars is.
No, and it's worth pointing out, Jon Favreau launched the MCU.
Yeah, he did. Like literally, no, he did. Like that man. When I saw that, when he was writing it, I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing, and it was. So it's like, you know, it's just. The problem was they got too far away, and even with the EU, some people would say it's terrible, but when it was good, it was by fans who got it.
Yeah.
And at no point even with Rogue One, where Rogue One had some good points in it, it still didn't really feel like Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, it was still...
Can I just shout out, we got not 1, but 2 references to the Star Wars holiday special, and that made really, really happy.
Yeah, well, it's probably made George Lucas pull more of his hair out because he's like, I thought it got rid of it.
It didn't happen. Thank God it didn't happen.
I apologize many times.
Yeah. I'm reading Anthony Daniels' autobiography at the moment, and his stories about the holiday special are amazing.
Oh, I have no doubt, man. I have no doubt. But like, I would say, you know, a recommendation. It's a hard watch. It's fantastic. You know, when I was watching it, I got the goosebumps. I didn't sit there crying because, you know, we're not there yet. But, you know, it's one of those kind of things where you're just like, this is amazing. You know, it takes you right back and it's everything you want. But then I was very angry because I was like, you could have done this all along. You just chose not to. And it was just, why, you know?
And can I just say, irrespective of it being a Star Wars property, it's a first episode of something that feels complete on its own and makes you want to see more. After watching so many years of Netflix, where it feels like you have to watch 3 episodes to get a complete one story, I felt very vindicated by that.
Yeah.
They're not relying on the brand. They're earning each episode, at least by the looks of it.
Yeah, it seems to. It's nice as well to like not see all the Star Wars things shoved down front and center. You know, like there's no lightsabers as of yet. There's obviously blasters and stuff, but it's very
trying to get their shit in. Then
it's very grounded. You know, they're actually just doing the Star Wars thing. You know what I mean? Rather than, oh, hey, look at all this flashpoint. And I think that's what some people were complaining about with the prequels, where it was, you know, just constant stuff happening. It's very methodical and takes its time. And I know obviously that's because it's a TV show, but it's more a sense of everything is deliberate and everything means something.
Oh yeah, we'll talk. There's definitely things I want to talk about, but I'm going to save it until Bryn, you've seen it, and until more people have seen it, because I don't want to. I really enjoyed going into this relatively blind, and I don't want to take that away from anyone. Like
that's fair. And Bryn, I'd say you'll have a great time watching it, man. You'll really enjoy it.
Like the points you're bringing up kind of remind me of like the discussions people had like back about 5 or 6 years ago when the DC animated movies were in a serious stride of really good quality films, where like you had Under the Red Hood and Flashpoint Paradox and all in one bunch, and you're like, why the hell aren't there big budget movies being done by the likes of Bruce Timm and Andrea Romano, who clearly understand what they're doing here? And it's the same kind of thing that you're saying here. Like, it's just so strange to see people being given the book on like small scale projects and going, well, see, you can do it here.
Yeah.
And then it's going, well, is this going to lead to me getting a chance to do it on a bigger stage? And then they just go, oh no, that's for someone else.
Well, that's been kind of the winning ingredient in the MCU. I'm big for going through the Blu-ray documentaries, and they seem to pick their writing and directing talent based on their enthusiasm for each project. Like Scott Derrickson was a big Doctor Strange fan, for example. Yeah. So I think that seems to be the missing X factor in, say, the DCEU films. And indeed, like the newer DCEU films seem to be made by people who were passionate about, the Joker and Aquaman and even Shazam to some degree.
Well, look, you have to be. You have to be, right? Particularly with something like this where, they're products made by multi-million-dollar corporations, billion-dollar corporations even. But at the end of the day, when a creative product has to be made by somebody who actually cares. Yeah.
But the reality is that, like, I mean, as far as like, I know like the audience is much bigger than like people like us who will go and see the stuff anyway.
That's not true.
It is bigger, Like,
no, I mean, like, I won't go see it anyway.
Yeah, but like we're more likely to see it. Like we're more likely to see it.
But only once, Bryn.
Yeah, only once. But the problem is that like, we're more likely to see it than the average Joe is.
Fair.
But because we're more likely to see it, we're also more likely to spend money on the extra bits.
Yeah, that's true.
If they don't generate that goodwill with us, how the hell do they expect to get that wider appeal?
Well, actually, on that point, sorry for cutting across you, but there was a very interesting video there, and you can see them of the Star Wars toys, and they're just not selling.
Yep.
Like it's for the first time with The Last Jedi, I didn't buy anything really. Because there's nothing to buy, and then I bought one thing because I do like the Red Guards. The Red Guards are cool.
Red Guards have always been cool.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they're
cool.
cool.
My brother built the entire Snoke throne room with all the Red Guards just out of his own bricks. It took him weeks, and he's very proud of it.
Oh, that's class. It is, and like to be fair, that's cool. So I did buy that, but for Solo, I bought nothing at all.
But I mean, this is the thing.
And it was like
with the other, like with the prequels and stuff, there was like supplementary books and like,
yeah.
The entire EU was born out of the not the entire, but the best parts of it were born out of.
You may never watch The Phantom Menace again, but I will play Star Wars Racer over and over and over.
Oh yeah, and sure, even the whole setup of the Old Republic and all that stuff.
Apprentice book series as well, which was awesome.
Like exactly.
Oh, I mean, all these things came out from that period, and like, I don't even see, like, outside of what you'll see in the Disney store, which is kind of just plush toys and stuff like that. Fair enough, there is appeal for that, but like, in terms of like going this book, like having books on display, having more video games, like the Pod Racer is a good racing game, let alone just being a decent Star Wars game in the universe. Like, it still functions as an actual racing game. So like stuff like that is just kind of frustrating when you're going, well, what else is there? You're kind of expecting me to go, well, all I need is
the Star Wars logo.
And then and I will pay to see this film however many times and buy the Blu-ray. Well, no thanks.
Well, you know what it is? Actually, I want to link back in because I think over the summer we did an episode just on Spider-Man films.
Mm-hmm.
Those original 3 Spider-Man films are very good at communicating from the director and the writers why Spider-Man is good, why we love it, and why you should love it too. And I think when you're adapting a Star Wars movie, a comic book movie, a whatever, a Terminator, that needs to be the 3 marks you hit. And more often than not,
regardless of genre, those are
very face value. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'd agree on that. Because there's no point otherwise. Yeah. You know, if you're going by the numbers, that's great. If it's not something with a built-in fan base that is expecting this. Comic books, it's a little bit more fluid because comic books have always been kind of fluid, and interpretation is a thing. And you know, you can see him with Joker, right? Proper interpretation. With Star Wars, though, it's not comics. It's like Star Trek with the Trekkies. I know you're a Trekkie, Keen. I'm going to try be gentle. You know, if you screw the pooch on that, people are going to be upset. And what happened with the Star Wars stuff was it was constant just browbeating and, you know, hope that it was going to get better, and it just didn't. It just got progressively worse. I didn't really hate The Last Jedi, and it was just from the beginning it just didn't feel like it. And The Mandalorian is the first time where I'm like, this is exactly what we wanted. Like, it's so horrible to think that it took this long to get to that point. But I'll put it this way. In the same week that The Mandalorian came out, I pre-ordered the new Star Wars game. I bought the Mandalorian toy. I bought some more Star Wars toys. And I'm like, so if this goes bad, there will be an 8-hour show of... No, but you know what I mean. Like I am joking, but my love of Star Wars.
I think like your enthusiasm of Star Wars for the last few months has been like one of those like hospital heartbeat machines, like flatlining. And like everything came on, and there was like a boop, like just.
Yeah, no, but that's kind of what happened. Like, I wasn't going to pre-order the game. I sure as heck didn't plan on buying any Star Wars merchandise, and then it came out. I'm like, oh well, okay, here we go. You know, it's like
that bit blindly. It's like that bit in The Dark Knight Returns where Joker's watching the news and he's all sedated and stuff, and then he sees people talk about Batman and he's just like
yeah, but no, it's good. You know, if anyone hasn't seen it, I'd recommend it. By the time this show goes out, there'll be 2 episodes of it. So yeah, it's been released on a really weird schedule, but you can find it online there. It seems to be like almost one every 1.5 weeks game, looks like. But okay, before we finish up, American Horror Story as well. It's really good, guys. I'm enjoying it this season. Don't know if you guys have watched it or are fans of American Horror Story.
Long time ago.
What about you, Ken?
No, I've never seen it. I've been recommended it hundreds of times. But I do.
It's good.
Breaking Bad. I look at 6 seasons and I go, oh.
No, but to see the hook of this is they're all different. They're like, a lot of them are the same actors, but it's totally different. It's not the same show.
All right, that's a good hook.
Yeah,
like episode number 9 in that way.
Sorry, Bryn, what?
It's like an anthology series. So like,
exactly, yeah.
You know, it's like the same actors, but they're playing different characters each season in different settings and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and like, to be fair, some seasons are better than others. Some are slower than others. First season is genuinely fantastic. I'm a big fan of the 3rd season, which is The Witches. First season's a haunted house. Yeah. But this
second season.
The 2nd season, The Asylum. Yeah, The Asylum's great. That really disturbed me at the beginning, though. But it is fantastic. I do this season though. I like because going back to our past horror shows, which I swear will be up this weekend. They will be up this weekend. I'm working on them now. They will be, but it's based on the Friday 13th movies.
Oh,
so it's a slasher season. Literally in a camp on a lake in the 80s. It's super fun. Now, it's kind of silly. It does kind of go off the rails a bit, but it's still fun. And it's on FX now. I think we're on episode 10. So I'm going to watch it after we finish recording. And yeah, I would say, look, if you're a fan of it, I didn't like the last season. It was kind of dumb, but it got pretty good. This is consistently fun. So it gets a strong recommendation for me anyway. And Keen, you should give it a watch, man. You'd enjoy it.
Okay, all right. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, so that's everything for me this week, guys. What about yourself? You got any plugs or recommendations?
After you, Brent.
I don't really have any plugs or recommendations this week outside of I found my favorite subreddit of all time on Reddit, where it's called Shitty Movie Details. It's basically people giving, pointing out like details that do not exist in films, but they're really funny and well crafted. And like, I mean, some of them are kind of like more meme based. Some of them are more just pointing out really banal and pointless things. Like I'm trying to see one right now. There's one where it's saying like in Bohemian Rhapsody, the film, Freddie Mercury has sex with a man. This may mean that he's in fact gay.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Once again, I'll plug Venus DeVilo and her blog Straight Outta Kanto. She's a Pokemon expert. She'll be on next week, and we're looking forward to having her on the show.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that myself. Guys, again, as I said, our panel is up on the YouTubes. It's also on iTunes, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. Our 2 horror shows will be up before this one. So they're going to go up Friday. And then this will go up after we go out on Phoenix FM on Saturday. So if you're not subscribed to anything, do. So we're on YouTube, Spotify, and of course Phoenix FM at 5 p.m. And we're back next week here on Nerd to Know Media. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.